Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which video to do? So, I thought I would shoot this video, actually. First, organic portals for dummies. Now, I'm not putting you guys down and saying you're dummies or something. It's just that I was looking at organic portal search terms on YouTube, and that was a search term. So this is really just SEO, search engine optimization. I thought I'll make the video title actually what people are searching, so then you find the video nice and quickly, I hope. Anyway, so organic portals for dummies. Reptilian versus organic portal. Yeah, some reptilians have soul. I know people are saying that they don't, but when they come into existence physically in the future, because these are fourth dimensional resonance thought forms re-entering timelines, essentially, you know, the fourth dimensional reptilian. So when in the future, when they're actually here, yeah, they do have soul, not all of them. And why? Because are you understanding that the organic portals are in all species, all throughout the animal kingdom on Earth, and all species that will ever be? There will be always the central concrescent. I call this the person, this is maybe the golden boy, the bellatrix, ideas like that. But the central concrescence, the most complexity knot, I call it the metaphysical baton holder. They're always the one pulling everyone else forward. Like at one time, it might have been, I don't know, Einstein or something, you know what I mean, pulling everyone forward for a couple of years with adding something new to all the theory and as he put it together. Who knows? But that's the example. I don't know, I don't want to point to a single person like Nikola Tesla or blah blah blah, but you understand what I mean by a concrescent person then. So there's always that, and then there's always, that's the vector, where the universe is traveling with most of its light. Then there is the entropic field or entropy field. Entropy is kind of like all possible choices. You could kind of imagine it like that. I know there's different meanings of entropy, but this is what I mean. Say you have a room filled with balls. Each ball is a possible vector. So where what human or third dimensional zonal reality life gets chosen to be like a metaphysical baton holder wouldn't always just be one. There would be like a ring called the Radazi of concrescent people, known as the Wayshowers, basically. So anyway, it's simple. The backdrop people or stabilization function of the morphogenic field of any particular species is the organic portals. They are the backdrop people. The stabilization function of the morphogenic field of any species, given species. So just to keep this very simple and dumb this right down, you can look into what morphogenic field is. Who came about with that? Rupert Sheldrake. So you can look further into his stuff, and you know, he does telepathy studies. It's pretty interesting. So the reptilian is not that the organic portal is what they come through. The reptilian is the essence, you might think, coming through the form, like that. That's a very simplified view. I'm trying to, you know, make this for dummies, so to speak, or dumb the work down, not make it too complex, and or advanced or something for the time. Yeah, so some reptilians have soul as well, because I've noticed that myself. I've heard other people mention that, so I thought I will put my 2 cents in and do a video on it. And I definitely agree, because I've seen that with my experience, how they look at you. You know how you can just see it in someone's eyes. It says, you know, it's said that, you know, the eyes are a window to the soul and blah blah blah. We all pretty much understand that sort of basic stuff, right? So you can see sometimes that they, well, when I'm looking through my third eye in a sleep paralysis, that's happened to me numerous times, and I see through their veil, their little veil drops, their cloak. My third eye penetrates it briefly, and I see them. And they're like on the wall or something. They're like a spider or something that can just like be on the wall, eh? Like insects, how they can just be on the wall because they got little grippy feet or something. That's what I've had happen, or one was standing at the door, but then it jumped on the wall and then it leapt over onto my bed, which is very reminiscent of the leaping that's mentioned by Don Juan, the shaman, in Carlos Castaneda's reading or book Active Side of Infinity, or Activate Potential. Because he calls them flyers, and I have a video with the video title Flyers Inbound When Your Aura Is Down. Oh, this bird, every time I talk, this bird just goes nuts. Anyway, just sitting out in nature. So, yeah, if you want to see reptilians, there's a good little point. If you want to see reptilians better, get your frequency sorted. Listen to solfegos. Sit grounded in nature. Do standard meditation in nature with the K1 meridian, kidney 1 meridian, ball of the big toe touching the ground. This is the way to get off abhorrent energy of any kind, whether it's a negative energy entity implant or if it's a matrix virus insertion and or etc. Terrible emotion positrons left behind, which can lead to organ failure if you don't clear your organs of their sound of their pain, the positron sounds they make. Your organs need to be cleared, so you should be grounding. You should be standing with socks or barefoot on dirt or on grass. Anyway, and then what happens is you create a clearer septum pellucidum, which is in the limbic brain, in the midbrain, and it's like positrons and positive charge and abhorrent frequencies, whether it be, how the music is changed to 440 or whatever it is, off the sacred tone. What is it, that 440, 425 frequency thing, if you investigate that, or pain from your day. The pain is like static in your brain, or accretes in your brain, or bad food that you eat, like pesticides, their vibration, the synthetic foods you eat, their vibration. These are all abhorrent vibrations. They're abhorrent because they're putrefying, terrible to your body. And they create the septum pellucidum, which is like a projector screen for your pineal scintillations and visions, brought about by your third eye chakra, energy impulsor. The septum pellucidum is like a projector screen, so to get the imagery of seeing something with your third eye, so to speak, or mind sight, you need to clear the septum pellucidum, and it's vibratory. But you realize when it's vibratory, it's even foodatory, or food. That's why I mentioned food at the end as well. It's not just what you think, because the emotions and so on, but it's also what you eat as well, and what you take on, or matrix virus insertions, like I said, and so on. So any abhorrent vibration needs to be cleared, and I mentioned how to do that with grounding, so you don't need to pay anyone anything, and you can just do it by yourself and get clear. So the reptilians are visualized much better when you have a septum pellucidum which is clear. It's like water. It's like if you have abhorrent positron vibrations on your septum pellucidum, it's like static on a TV screen, which ruins the image quality. And so to increase image quality of, visualizing a reptilian, or what are all these crazy hippie people talking about? Could it be true? Well, if you invest 5 minutes after you invest, weeks and months clearing your septum pellucidum, so I'll see you in a year, then you can tell me if you've seen it or not for yourself. And it has nothing to do with me. I didn't influence you. Oh, okay, so I've made you look in a certain direction. We're talking about reptilians, so I've made your mind look in that direction. It's not exactly influencing you. And even if it was, are you mindless? So what if I was influencing you? Can't you make up your mind for yourself? You know what I mean? So go explore this, check it out for yourself, invest some of your time before you call people crazy who are seeing this. Because a lot of people just can't articulate what's going on very well. A lot of people just lack the Englishing ability or the English capability to say what they've seen. A lot of people can behold it and see it, but then they can't exactly speak it. Oh, this is in these words, but to really make you understand. Because remember, we're talking over a barrier here called English. If I could just show you what I've seen, then you would see it. And that's going to be part of our future in Oneness 5D Earth. Believe it or not, we're just in the crude end of it with the 5G grid. The 5G pain psychotronic grid is indeed a psychotronic pain, draconian, arconian plan. But the thing is, the family of dark always sets up the track for the family of light to navigate, to find their way home as they choose. They create like a web for you to go through and choose your path home to the family of love. So what's interesting is that will all evolve, you know. Yes, it's starting as the robots started, clunky, but one day they will not just be clunky. One day these robots will be much more smooth, and it's said that good technology is seamless technology, and it's most definitely going to go seamless, you know. Man, this bird is really annoying me. It's like direct matrix interference, that bird right now, I swear. It cannot shut up when I start talking. I'm sure you can hear that bird in the background. Anyway, I'll keep going. Yeah, that just threw me off. I just had enough of it. You know, the matrix hive mind tries to make you emote, like I just emoted. Because when you emote, you send off loosh or positronic charge, which I just gave it some energy, you see. So don't even, you got to ignore the little cute bird who is totally distracting my video, because that's really the Matrix distracting the absolute crap out of me. So you gotta ignore it, because otherwise it makes you emote. You know, what's interesting is, in a way, to circle back to what I was saying, when the technology gets seamless, I will be able to show you what I saw, not just say what I mean, and try to paint you a picture and try to show you what I saw via words. In the future, you know, I can just visually record, I'm sure, or something like this, what I see, and then show it to you. You know what I mean? You'll be able to record your visions. They actually have that in the making on consciouszine.net. On the Neuroscience Mania page, you can see where they're developing technology to basically read your dreams. So you could be asleep, someone can come along, one of your gang stalkers presumably, one of your gang stalkers can come along, put a little device to your head, or stand outside the building, probably even wirelessly transmit and do this and see your dreams from 15 meters away, or maybe it's further, from the satellite, the so-called satellites which I can't find on any online footage. Where is all that space junk? I'm not saying the Earth's flat, but I'm saying, where the hell are all the satellites? Because why can't I see them in any video, anywhere? That's all I'm saying. I just want to see some satellites. Just produce a few satellites. I'd like to see footage from the space station of the satellites below it. It'd just be nice to see the satellites for once, you know. I've heard they're up there, and I heard they're transmitting, and so why do we have all these ground towers? Why are the ground towers everywhere if they've got satellites, thousands of satellites? And you can go to that website that shows you all zooming around Earth. Obviously not to scale so it looks more crowded, but still, where are they all? Produce some footage, please. Otherwise I'm inclined to question a lot.
ConsciousZine.com Chronicle.